Hey everyone, it's Green Eyed Guide. Today I want to talk about an energy drink with no artificial sweeteners nor flavors. This drink has as much caffeine as 2 cups of coffee, and yet the caffeine comes from green tea extract. Do you know what it is? It's Vibal Energy Tea, and today we'll talk about the ingredients, whether this drink is safe and healthy enough to drink every day, and how this compares to a stereotypical energy drink. Ready? Let's go. Welcome to the Caffeine at Midnight podcast. Is getting good sleep a struggle? Is your cup of coffee the only thing that gets you out of bed? Do you have questions about energy drinks? If so, this podcast is for you. Where you get your caffeine, how much, how fast, how often. These tiny details make a big difference in your physical and emotional exhaustion. I'm caffeine scientist Green Eyed Guide, and I'm here to guide you through it. Whether it's your work, your kids, or your midterms stealing your sleep, I can help you beat burnout with caffeine science. After this quick message from my sponsor, we'll dive right in. This episode is sponsored by Anchor. If you're considering starting your own podcast, I highly recommend the Anchor app. It distributes your podcast for you to Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, and so many more. Plus, you can record and edit right from your phone. It's perfect for busy moms like me. And you can make money from your podcast even if only your mom and your grandma listen to it. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. All right, so if you're not familiar with Vibal Energy Tea, it comes in a 16-ounce glass bottle with a lid, which is nice because you can close it and sip it throughout your whole day. Flavors include lemonade, which is my personal favorite, pomegranate, which is my second favorite, wildflower honey, and spicy ginger. Now, the spicy ginger is way too hot for this white girl, but it's got a nice kick to it that my husband actually enjoyed. So you can check that one out. Let me know what you think. The key ingredients in this energy drink include green tea, L-theanine, vitamin C, ginseng, and natural caffeine. Now, some of you may have heard that vitamin C and caffeine don't work well together, so I want to take a tiny second and try and explain why people say that. Because Vibal Energy Tea has 100% of your daily value of vitamin C, this is probably a good time to clear up that myth. So the assumption that caffeine and vitamin C don't get along is based on 2 things. One, it's based on the fact that coffee has things called tannins in it, and those tannins can block the absorption of vitamins like vitamin C. So if you're getting your caffeine from coffee, you're also getting those tannins, and that forms a chelation or a claw-like behavior on some vitamins, which prevents them from being absorbed. But this vitamin C is in an energy drink, and this caffeine is, not coming from a cup of coffee, so you're good. The second reason people say vitamin C and caffeine don't get along is that if you have a lot of caffeine, it can give you a diuretic effect, meaning it makes you urinate more. But that's not an issue with the amount of caffeine in this drink. That diuretic effect only occurs if you're not someone that drinks caffeine on a regular basis, or if you have more than 250 milligrams of caffeine. This drink only has 200, so it's short of that amount. Thus, the diuretic effect shouldn't come into play. Thus, you shouldn't, pee out your vitamin C before you have a chance to absorb it. So yeah, we're good. So how does Vibal Energy Tea compare to a stereotypical energy drink? Well, for apples to apples comparison, let's look at Monster Energy, specifically the Rehab line, which is tea plus energy. They have a few different varieties. There's a peach tea one, there's a raspberry tea one, but I'm specifically looking at the lemonade one. It's Monster Rehab iced tea plus lemonade. That's probably the closest comparison to Vibal Energy Tea. So how do these 2 drinks compare? So a couple things that Vibal Energy Tea has that Monster Energy does not. Vibal Energy has organic cane sugar, but it's only 3 grams, so it's a nice low amount. They also have monk fruit as a sweetener, which is a natural sweetener. Now, I like monk fruit a lot because it is a natural sweetener, but it does not give you the bitter metallic taste that stevia gives you. My good friend Caffeine Man, if you don't know who Caffeine Man is, please please go check out his YouTube channel. He has way more reviews of energy drinks than I do, but he is a stevia super taster. About 10 to 25% of the population is, and so they don't enjoy anything with stevia. Even though stevia is a natural sweetener, it gives them this awful, bitter, metallic taste. You don't get that problem when you sweeten things with monk fruit. However, monk fruit is a very expensive ingredient, so not everyone can afford it. But Vibal Energy Tea can, and it's one of the many things that set them apart from stereotypical energy drinks. The other things that separate Vibal Energy Tea from Monster Rehab with lemonade is that Vibal does not have any artificial sweeteners. It doesn't have any artificial flavors or colors or artificial preservatives. So that kind of gives you an idea of who this drink is for. Caffeine content wise, they're similar. Monster Rehab has about 160 milligrams per 16-ounce bottle. Vibal Energy Tea has 200 milligrams, so it's more than a can of Monster. And like I mentioned earlier, that caffeine is coming from green tea as well as natural caffeine that's added. So the big question, is Vibal Energy Tea safe enough to drink every day? Yes. Based on the caffeine content, the sugar content, and the food matrix, meaning the caffeine and the other ingredients, this is a safe and healthy drink. You can enjoy it every day without worrying about health consequences, as long as you're above 18, because one whole bottle is more caffeine than what a minor is supposed to have. But if you're over 18, this should be fine. 200 milligrams is about the caffeine in 2 cups of coffee. So this might actually be a little strong for some people, but the beauty of this drink is that it comes in a glass bottle with a lid, which helps you moderate your consumption. So you can stop yourself halfway through if you're feeling, if you're feeling the vibes and feeling awake and alert enough to stop before you drink the whole thing. So yes, I would put this in the green column of the energy drink report card. If you're not familiar with the energy drink report card, you can find that at greeneyedguide.com in my freebie vault. But again, I would put Vibal Energy Tea in the green column of the energy drink report card because based on the caffeine content, the sugar content, and the food matrix, I think this is safe and healthy enough for an adult to consume every day. Taste-wise, as I mentioned before, lemonade is my absolute favorite of the 4 different flavors that Vibal Energy offers. I like the lemonade a lot, and it's important to note that it has organic lemon juice and also natural lemon flavor. So taste-wise, I really like the profile. It's just sweet enough so that you feel like you are drinking lemonade, but it's not overpoweringly sweet. It's not so sweet that it makes your mouth like pucker up, so it's a nice flavor profile, I think, and a nice sweetness. And it's not carbonated, which is great for sipping throughout the day. Like, lemonade is usually not carbonated, and Monster Rehab line is not carbonated. So I honestly think if you enjoy the Monster Rehab line, you'd really enjoy Vibal Energy Tea. And so that's why I wanted to talk about this one today. Another thing that makes Vibal Energy special is that it has 100% of your daily value of vitamin C. Now, this is especially important to me because that's one of the things that The Rock says makes his energy drink special. It has 100% of your vitamin C and natural caffeine and antioxidants. Okay, well, all of those things are in Vibal Energy Tea as well. So that's just another example of how, yes, there are healthy energy drinks. They already exist. There's just not many people know about them. So hopefully this episode has given you a bit of exposure to a drink that you didn't know existed. And I hope you go and check it out. You can learn more about Vibal Energy Tea on Instagram at Vibal Energy Tea or by going to drinkvibal.com. And if you haven't already heard this, March is Caffeine Awareness Month, and Vibal Energy Tea is one of the many products I will be giving away in my boxes of caffeinated treats. You can go to caffeinecon.org to learn more. Thanks for listening.